Hey everyone, welcome to month 5 of my mission to grow my Substack to 1,000 paid users or $8,000 in revenue per month. I have some exciting news, and I took a huge risk about a month ago, and I was at first devastated, but then really tenderly surprised and grateful. And then I have a huge beef with Substack that I'm going to share with you in a moment. That is all in this episode. Of course, I'm going to also share with you my revenue breakdown, some things I'm disappointed by, some things I'm heartened by, and then also why I'm thankful for all of you for tuning in and being with me in this journey. But also, hello from Patagonia. I'm in Bariloche, Argentina, eating some empanadas. I have literally been in bed sick for the past 7 days from the moment my plane touched down, almost, regrettably. So if I'm coughing in this video, know that I am keeping it real and showing you guys every part of this life and this journey. But let's jump right into my beef with Substack, because if you're like me, you're livid, you're not having this, because one of my most favorite features of Substack is that when you agonize over these beautiful posts that you spend forever writing, picking the images, being just like intentional, and then you put it out in the world, you don't then also have to make a social media image, because Substack generates that for you. Look at this. Ooh, beautiful. Minimalist. You got the title, you got the sub headline thing, you got your URL. It's my old URL. And then, a Substack logo. Not going to hate it. Not going to hate. Brand identity. This is the old social media post. They don't do this anymore. Unfortunately, this is what the new one looks like. A literal garbage fire. And I say it's a literal garbage fire because it is like, what is this? Basically, I don't understand who decided on this layout. So basically, we had this beautiful minimalist image, and you can do square versions of this too, where it looks very, very, very squished. What is this? Why do I have the first gajillion lines of my Substack post? Nobody's going to read this. The headline and the subheadline are enough to grab users, and this is auto-generated. I can't for the life of me change it. Substack will not give me anything different. I can't edit these images. Now this is the only thing that they give me. So because of that, when I got to Costa Rica, where I was working remotely for a few weeks, I basically had to deal with heartbreak of not being able to just have my social media images generated for me. So as a result, I didn't publish on social media when my new post went live. So instead, you can just see I have a million different photos of me with beverages on the beach, which is, how I live life, until I finally decided on this format, which is a play on my blog format for social media, which just has the headline, no more subheadline. But honestly, Substack, I'm so heartbroken, because I thought those images were really beautiful. But now I had to make my own, which, not complaining, brand identity and all that. And so this is what I'm doing now for both my blog and my Substack, which I am, look, yes, AI is helping me with this YouTube video. Thank you, AI on Dropbox Capture. And so I'm not mad about it. I think that these look good too, because this is also the format of my blog. And yes, I do have a blog and then also a Substack. Don't ask me what content I post on which. I'm still, figuring it out. And so, yeah, I don't really know how I mean, I'm kind of upset with Substack, because I used to love just posting their very simple images here and having this set up. But honestly, you know what, whatever, I'm over it. But I've seen a lot of people who are Substack writers posting the new format on their feed. And every time I come across it, I'm like, this is so clunky. I'm not going to read all of this. My eye doesn't know where to go. It's horrific design. So that is my beef with Substack. But I wanted to talk about the big risk that I took with my content. So basically, what I decided to do was about a month ago, because it's month 5 in a week, because I was out sick and also Thanksgiving. I basically decided to do a rebrand. And so if you go back through my posts, first of all, my publication used to be called Diary of an Author from the Desk of Amy Sudo. Now it is From the Desk of Amy Sudo, Writing and Entrepreneurship. And if you go back through my posts, or from my previous videos, you'll see that I kind of started this publication as a way to teach writers how to monetize and to teach authors how to monetize. And whether that was through freelancing or through books or through things like that. And the types of posts are pretty, like one of the posts that got me most of my paid subscribers was this one, from $17 to $750 an hour as a freelance writer. But what I saw is that a lot of people signed up for my paid subscription just to read this post and then unsubscribed after. And I've been on podcasts talking about like how I went from minimum wage in Hollywood to, eventually making $750 an hour as a freelance writer. I've even written a whole book called Six Figure Freelance Writer that has been like trending on the bestseller list on Amazon all year. It was number 35 in its category like a week ago, which was amazing. And then it was obviously number 1 in new releases when it came out. So it's been doing amazing and people have been really loving the book. And the audiobook version is coming out very soon. I'm really excited about that. So when people are wondering like about this content about how to become a freelance writer, I feel like it's pretty narrow, honestly. And I feel like that I was running out of more things to say about becoming a freelance writer because I've said all of the evergreen stuff that I need to say about freelancing in this book. This book goes through literally every single piece from beginning to expert freelancer to what do you do when you're done freelancing. It talks about how do you handle clients, what happens when a job goes wrong, how to manage your personal brand, like how to like think about your strategy in niches and how you differentiate yourself in the market, how to do competitor research and also understand that competition isn't really a thing in freelancing because clients are looking for different things, different people are gonna be different matches, how to become findable to your dream clients, like everything that you would need to be a freelancer from now until infinity is in this book. And what I was kind of thinking originally for my Substack is to just kind of have more evergreen content, or not evergreen, more kind of like of the now content, specifically about like AI and like how technology is changing books and like how to make a living as an author. But what I realized is that I kept wanting to tell people who are writers, and especially freelancers, you are an entrepreneur. Like you are selling your writing services, but you are also an entrepreneur. The best freelancers have entrepreneurial skills because you're selling yourself as a writer, you're able to sell like what you're able to do. And then also a lot of writers like want to become, published authors, which requires marketing skills and like personal brand building. And I also know freelancers who want to start up like physical product lines for like journals and things like that. So that goes much further beyond just making money from specifically your writing. And I felt like that freelancing is the main way that I've made money as a writer. And then secondarily to that, from my books and by just like selling my written work has been the other like main income stream for me. And so between selling my services as a writer and then selling my physical writing, that has kind of been the way that I make money. And then I have all these other income streams too, in terms of like my course on freelance writing. I do one-on-one coaching with freelancers. I also like have done like a lot of like deals with like affiliate deals with different AI tools like Wondercraft AI that I love and use every day. I also do like, there's like a lot of different kind of pieces that I realized weren't very neatly falling under writing. And I wanted to talk about them, and I felt like I was doing a disservice to my audience by being so narrow. And so when I saw people who signed up for this newsletter start to kind of like fall off and unsubscribe, I kind of was trying to figure out, well, that's not the audience that I want. I don't want people to come to my Substack for the clickbaity, like, oh, I make $750 an hour as a freelance writer. Because in all honesty, not everybody is going to make $750 as a freelance writer per hour, nor should everybody do that. Like it kind of depends on what your niche is, what is the like limit, and there's so many other kind of variables in terms of how you want your life and your lifestyle to be. Can you grow to that? Absolutely. Like, anyone can do anything, but it just depends on what you want your lifestyle to be. What is your industry that you write in? There's so many kind of different pieces. And so you'll see that I start to post different things starting in Costa Rica about I've peaked as a freelance writer. What's next? And this kind of post like really kind of kicked off my rebrand. And I was a little nervous to post this because I'm also talking about I'm learning how to code. And so, and I kind of felt a little self-conscious because, I'm learning how to code because I've been working with my partner on a startup that he founded a few years ago, and I'm like working with him on developing this product, and we've been working together for the last like 3 years on it. And we've been kind of working with other coders, but we wanted to have more skin in the game, and we wanted to be able to be more technical with it. And because AI is making coding a lot easier than it's ever been before, I was like, I learned how to code a little bit at USC in my computer hacking class. And so I was like, yeah, why not? I'll learn I'll like really learn how to do it since we have free time. We're in Costa Rica, we're in the jungle, like, why not? And I've actually been kind of starting to learn how to code for like the last few months and making a ton of progress because of the AI tools that are helping us. And so I was a little nervous to share that with my audience because I didn't want the writers to freak out. I didn't want people who were only writers to freak out. And I didn't want to be like, hey guys, you should learn how to code, because I don't think that is everybody's calling. I've already been in the tech world. I've been doing tech copywriting and I did Web3 copywriting and storytelling during that whole craze, which was insane. I literally spoke at Web3 conferences, and I'm really bummed that, this, potential technology to like help people really just ushered in a bunch of scammers, which really depressed me. It was very sad. But through all of that, I was also still doing memoir ghostwriting, and that was my main focus, even as I was like dabbling in the Web3 space and kind of, hoping that would turn into something more altruistic than it did. Long story short. So when I posted this, I was a little worried, and I did see paid subscriber churn happen here because people started realizing that I wasn't just saying, I wasn't just being like, freelance writing till I die. Like, this is, and if you read my book, Six Figure Freelance Writer, you'll know that, like, even in the book, I say, like, freelancing isn't forever. Like, freelancing is something, like, I've been doing freelance writing for, like, almost 8 years. And I think that freelance writing is something that has just changed my life and allowed me to live freedom, like, live, like, location freedom and independent, and be able to, like, be in Bariloche in this, like, adorable cabin, which you can't see because it's getting late. And being able to like do really amazing things and see the world and be in Costa Rica and take all of these photos of beverages by the ocean, which is my shtick, is just beverages in different places on my Instagram. And so I was a little worried, but then I really started to see a difference in my engagement from my subscribers. And as I started posting, like 3 hacks to learn faster, 3 ways traveling has made me a better entrepreneur, 10 personal branding secrets, finding true freedom, I finally posted the post that has done the best since my rebrand, which is called Choose Your Hard. And this post is basically talking about how when I was in Hollywood, I chose the hard of being an assistant, making minimum wage, working in an industry that didn't respect me as a writer or as a human being. And I was really successful at it. I was able to get for an episode of TV before a lot of my peers. I also got to work on a show that I was so passionate about, that I was so excited about, that was like literally in my genre of spy thriller. I got to work with a CIA agent to consult on my episode and got to learn a lot of really fun, juicy secrets. Because he had recently quit the CIA, and I got just like, it was like a dream job. Like, it was very cool. But then what I realized at the end of it, I was like, I don't really think I need any more than this in Hollywood. Like, I think I'm good. And that was very weird to me. And I was like, do I want to choose the hard of staying in Hollywood? And at that time, I had just gotten back from a trip to Berlin and Paris. And like, I was still doing like moonlighting as a freelancer. And I was like, you know what? I think I might want to do that instead. And I knew it would be a different type of hard, but I really wanted to like figure it out. And so in this post, I talk not only about why it's important to be very conscious about the hard that you are choosing to make sure it's leading you to a place where you want to go, but also to choose that not choosing is also, can bring you hard things. By not choosing to make the leap and leave the industry and leave everything that you know, like by not choosing to do that, you are picking the hard of maybe staying in the wrong path. And so inaction is a choice just as much as action is. And this post popped off. This was like one of my most liked posts. People really like this post. And let me see if I have some stats here. Oh yeah, I also, made another social media image for my fiction Substack because I'm so upset with Substack. So here's some of the messages I've gotten from subscribers. Thank you guys so much for everything that you've been saying. So this is a private message I got from a paid subscriber. I relate to your journey and watching your videos encouraged me to move my newsletter over to Substack. Congrats! I hope you've been liking it, except for their social posts. I loved your updates on YouTube, so keep them up, and I'm so glad I could support your newsletter financially finally. Keep going, Amy. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Even if you can't support me financially, I really appreciate everybody who tunes in, who subscribes, even if you're a free subscriber. It's amazing. And thank you, of course, to the paid subscribers who are also helping me get to my goal sometime in this lifetime. And then I also had 7 Substack publications start recommending me, which was amazing. I am shocked at all of the publications that are recommending me. And one of them recommended me with this note. Amazing content. Have been eyeing Substack for a while, but your content got me to decide to give it a try. Love it. Thank you. And then I got another message from a paid subscriber that said, I'm a freelance writer and I love your work. And then a very, very, very kind subscriber who really resonated with my Choose Your Hard post commented and said and shared on Substack Notes, which is like Substack's version of Twitter. What a great read. Thanks, Amy Sudo, for this inspirational piece and reminder to keep at it. I think this should be required reading for every freelance writer. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Abby. You're amazing. So getting all of that feedback, and then these are some of my stats. But I'm going to go over my stats, not just in October, but fully in a moment here. So the rebrand was risky because I did lose quite a bit of paid subscribers who were most likely following me because they wanted to just like get stepping stones of advice for how I made what I made. And I think that like I'm very transparent about talking about setting your rate, making money as a freelance writer. I have a ton of content on my TikTok about it, on my blog, amysudo.com, on here, on my newsletter, From the Desk of Amy Sudo. You can find content everywhere. I'm on a bunch of podcasts. Like there's so much content that you can find about me talking about making money as a freelance writer. And I genuinely think that if you read my book and then you read like some of my free content, like my book is $2.99 on Kindle. So it's like very financially affordable. It's cheaper than a subscription to my newsletter if you just want to do that. And then if you read that and then read my free blog posts and then my free posts here on my newsletter, and then if you wanted to like shell out $15 for my Udemy course, I have a best-selling course on Udemy about freelancing on Upwork. That's all you need to know about freelancing right now. That's all you need to know. I have posts about the updates about AI here on From the Desk of Amy Sudo to kind of have some things that you should be aware of. I have a lot of kind of different content for you if you want to be a freelance writer and make 6 figures or get close to making 6 figures depending on the timeline and how much energy you can put into it. So I think that I've talked a lot about freelance writing in a way that I don't have much more to say. I think that also when you get to a certain point as a freelance writer, you kind of like, you're going to either, learn and become better as a marketer or you're not. So that's kind of where it is. But ultimately, even though I think that the rebrand kind of set me back, and then also having to, get back on my making social posts from scratch also set me back a little bit because there was some time where I wasn't posting any social posts on my social channels about my Substack. So I had a bit of a slowdown of momentum, and then obviously was out sick this week, but I still posted. I still wrote a post because you know what? I stay consistent, and that's the most important thing. So overall, thank you all for the love that you've been giving me. I think that the new topics, I even got a comment from a subscriber who is like, love the rebrand, love the new topics. So clearly the rebrand worked. My subscribers are the ones that I'm serving on this newsletter, and they're saying good job. And the people that, have unsubscribed have decided that the content is not for them. And I respect that, of course, as well. And so, but I'm not going to lie, it hurts when you see an unsubscription come into your inbox. And there are some days where I'll see like 2 unsubscriptions, and then the next day I'll see 2 subscriptions, and the next day I'll see like an unsubscription and then a subscription. And so I'll be honest, it's a little bit of a roller coaster ride, but because this is not my main source of income, It's all vibes. I do this because I love it and I want to share information with you guys. The paid subscribers, like, you guys are amazing. Allow me to spend a little more time on this and justify this. Because otherwise my partner Kyle is going to be like, no, I'm kidding. He would never. He would literally be like, follow your heart, and we'll live in a cabin in the middle of nowhere in Argentina like I am right now. We'll make it work. So he's the ultimate dream enabler. So I'm kidding. But yeah, your financial support obviously encourages me to spend more time on these things because it makes it more worth my time, and also shows me that you guys are valuing this stuff. Without further ado, last piece here, I'm going to get into the metrics and the money so that you can see the progress or the lack of progress that I've made. Total honesty and transparency. Let's go. So, I have gained a net positive of 2 paid subscribers in the last 30 days, but it has been like I've been saying, it's been like I've gained a bunch of subscribers and then lost, and then gain and lost. And some days I'll lose one, and then another day I'll gain 2. I am technically up 2 paid subscribers in the last 30 days, but I'm pretty sure this is like the same number I was at last month. So I'm just at a little bit over $2,300 in gross annualized revenue. And I saw some people were confused on one of my last videos, so let me clarify and say that this is annualized revenue. So this is $2,300 a year, not a month. We're not there yet. I've seen a huge increase in total subscribers. Like, when I started this newsletter back in June, I had brought over 600 of my subscribers from my last newsletter, and I've gained 300 subscribers since then, which is awesome. My 30-day views are a little bit down. Or actually a lot down. They're like 1,000 views down. And I'm going to say that this is probably from both the rebrand and the lack of posting on social media. And then my 30-day open rate is also down about 2%, which I think is probably the similar thing, which is making sure that people see what I'm posting, and not just to their inbox, but also to their social media. So there's that. And I would say that my most popular post was probably, Choose Your Heart is definitely been one of my most popular recent posts. It got 4 new subscribers. It got a ton of comments. It got 8 likes, 2 comments, and people were sharing on, excuse me, Substack notes. This is also a reminder to share on Substack notes. Also, something that was amazing, I don't have a screenshot for it with me right now, but this publication was featured in the travel section on Substack, which I think brought me some traffic, which is awesome. So by posting consistently, Substack will also continue to push you in their discovery system, which is awesome. And then another thing that I discovered that I think is really cool is that Substack has an events, a writer events page, which if you haven't seen it, you should check it out, because they have recurring events, which like are writer office hours and shout out threads. But they also have in-person meetups and then online virtual meetups. I'm going to go to the virtual writer meetup end of the year reflection. And you should too. I think it sounds nice. I think they're doing like a meditation and like some journaling. So that's all I have for this month. I'm going to continue to eat these empanadas that are amazing. And then also drink this entire container of agua con gas. I love sparkling water so much. And I always accidentally get it in foreign countries because it looks like normal bottled water. And I can't read these labels very well because my Spanish is garbage. I'm working on it. I'm doing Duolingo every day. But I'm just want to say that I'm thankful for y'all. I've been really enjoying this journey, even though my progress has kind of stagnated in the last 2 months. I don't feel like it has emotionally or in the progress that I'm seeing of building a real community, because I do think slow and steady wins the race, and I'm enjoying every single Substack that I'm putting out there. And then I'm also looking forward to, at some point, repurposing some of my Substacks into a book, which will be a collection of essays about digital nomad life, travel, entrepreneurship on the road and things like that. So there's a lot of cool stuff that I'm thinking of doing with my Substack down the line. So I want to build this stuff really intentionally. I don't want to rush, and I want the right people to find this community and join it. And if that's you, I hope that you go down to the description box and hit subscribe on my Substack from the Desk of Amy Sudo. And then I also hope you subscribe to this channel if you want to hear more updates. I'm here being vulnerable and honest and making videos that are way too long with no editing, because who's got time for that? And then also, last thing, I also finally posted a new chapter to my novel, Let Me Be Your Ghost. And I say this with giggles because I posted, 4 chapters. I posted like the first chapter in February. I'm like, every Sunday this is going out. And then February 18th, February 16th, 26th, February 28th, June 24th, and now here in November, we're here. So basically if you haven't heard of it yet, it is called Let Me Be Your Ghost. It is my thriller novel about a memoir ghostwriter who gets in too deep with their Silicon Valley tech client, falls in love with his wife while informing on him with the FBI. And it is a psychological thriller. It is fun. It is sexy. And it is not inspired by any real life events that I have ever been involved with. Everything is coincidental, but save for the profession between both me and the protagonist. In all honesty, I've been writing this for a few years. It's been super fun. I wrote it as a script first. I'm adapting it to a novel. I promise you, I'm going to get a little bit more consistent on it. So if you start reading now, you're going to see more chapters. The first 5 chapters are free, and the first 2 author's notes are free, so you can kind of get a sense of what it is, and then from there it will be a paywall for the rest of the posts. So I hope you check it out. I hope you enjoy it. This is my fiction kind of experiment on Substack to see if fiction writing would work, and it is a rough draft, but I do go back and make some edits, and if you see a typo, know you did it. So that's it for now. I will see you guys next month in month 6, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.